How's everybody doing today? This is the fourth time I've made this video. This video is in direct response to a Facebook friend of mine who I've met fairly recently, Israel. How you doing, buddy? We've only had the chance to speak on the phone once for about a half an hour or so, but we follow each other. And this is a response to a video that he made not too long ago. Hoping to help all of his viewers and to guide them through the process. Like Israel, when I make my videos, I get angry and I rant. And a 5-minute video turns into an hour of verbal diarrhea. So I'm trying to pinpoint some very specific topics that you need to educate yourself on. First of all, Israel's right, and most of us know in our heart that slavery was never abolished. It was just redefined. Instead of whips and chains, it's now done through debt and economics. We can free ourselves from this, but we need cash flow. That's why I'm in direct sales. That's why I help others. It's the same with Israel, and he's doing a really good job at it. So before I get into technicals, props to you, Israel. Keep spreading the word. Camera is starting to get shaky because I'm getting angry, jittery. I want to show you something. It's very important, because human rights is a journey. So this is what I want to show you. This is very important. Watch and understand. This is important, what I'm going to show you here now. There's 4 documents here. I'm in Canada. There is a little bit of a difference in the States, but ultimately it's the same. So you need to get these documents and you need to study them, because you can learn from your heart, but in order to take action and apply, you need to study, because the system is set up to control us. And if you don't know how to walk through the system, you're going to lose every time. Check this out. The first one. Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The very first 4 articles. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. 1. 2. Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration. Article 3. Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of the persons. Article 4. No one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and all the slave trade shall be prohibited in all its forms. Article 3 is expanded in the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. We're going to jump straight to Article 11. The state parties to the present covenant recognize the right for everyone to an adequate standard of living for himself, his family, including adequate food, clothing, and housing, and the continuous improvement of living conditions. This is important for Canadians. It's similar in the States. You have to get your own. The Canadian Constitution Act of 1982. Okay, very important. Whereas Canada is founded upon the principles that the supremacy of God, very important here, and the rule of law. This is the supreme law of Canada. Article 1. The Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms guarantees it produces an obligation for Canada. All the rights and freedoms set forth in it is subject only to such reasonable limitations prescribed by law. The Vital Statistics Act. This is in Canada. This is something I'm not going to go through because it's a very lengthy document. In Canada, and I would assume that it's similar in the States, there is only one document that the government produces that proves we are human beings. This is important. In Canada, we have the registration of live birth when you're born, and we have the birth certificate. These two documents are very important. The registration of live birth is the only document that Canada produces that proves you are a human being. The birth certificate is not proof that you are a human being. It proves that you're an incorporated person, an artificial person, or an incorporated person. All the documents and identification that you have stem from your birth certificate. When you produce your driver's license, your SIN card, your health card, or any other document to any authority in Canada or the United States, you automatically assume the role of an incorporated or an artificial person. This is how they control you. There is a huge difference between human rights and civil rights. Civil rights are for incorporated or artificial persons. Very important. Human rights are for the human being. You have to understand how human rights apply to you. Very important. Very important. Because I am breathing, I have a heartbeat, I am a human being. But under law, we are classed as artificial persons. And we are not treated as a human being. We are treated like a human being. This is how they can tax us. This is how they can make us pay for insurance, driver's licenses, permits to go fishing and hunting, etc., etc. It is very, very important. I'm going to close off this video now, otherwise it's going to be 4 hours long. But what you need to do is study your human rights and study how to stand as a human being in the eyes of the law. First, because you can't apply if you don't know. Second of all, you have to generate adequate cash flow in order to fight the system. You can do this in two ways. And it doesn't have to be one or the other. You can do it both. As you saw, we have the right to life, liberty, security of the persons. The reason why in Canada the Vital Statistics Act produces two pieces of identification. One that proves that I'm a human being with a heartbeat and I breathe, and the other as an incorporated person. One thing you have to understand is a right does not produce an obligation. When it comes time to vote, the cops don't come to your house with a gun to your head saying, "Come and vote now." You have the right to vote. You do not have to choose to vote. That being said, it's very important that you understand you have the right to work. That right to work does not produce an obligation for you to work. The government in Canada is obligated to produce a means of existence for us. They teach us to work. Our education system is designed to teach us to work. But if we don't stand on that right to work, Canada is obligated to take care of us. Why? Because, as Israel so eloquently pointed out, this is our land, our oil, our wood, our diamonds, our coal, our carbon, our air. Everything on this planet is ours equally. Hence, the Canadian Constitution Act says the supremacy of God. God first, and then human beings on an equal plane. Each and every single one of us are equal. There is no in between. Corporations do not come above human beings, they come below human beings. The reason why they can control us because we strip ourselves through ignorance, because they don't teach us. They teach us to be civilians in servitude of the Queen, of the monarch. When you learn to stand on your human rights, you can choose to live free. When you take that designation, there is an obligation for the state parties to recognize this. When you do this, they are obligated. Take care of us is the wrong word to use, but they are obligated to take care of us. Government's first and only responsibility is to manage the natural resources for the people. So I want you to ask yourself this question. If you own the oil, and you own the diamonds, and you own the gold, and you own the land, and the air, and the water, and they're managing it for us, where's your cut? It's time to study. The only way to fight is with cash flow. The only way is to stand on your human rights. Get angry. Learn this stuff. It's important. The only way to free yourself from debt slavery is to learn your human rights. I'll leave it with that. Israel, you're doing a great job. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world today. See you on YouTube, Facebook, social media. It's time to stand.